So I wanted to do a film analysis on No Country for Old Men. Really just trying to do the movies that have really made me think the most about the world we live in, especially because we're living in very interesting times. I'm looking at a lot of these cities that are going through peril with a lot of drug addiction, just open addiction, the immigrant crisis, a lot of the response to policing and stuff like that. So this movie is interesting. It's supposedly a semi fictitious tale set in 1980. Um, and really, again, I talked about this in another video about Heat with Neil McCauley, and this character Anton Chigurh, it's essentially the same thing. He's a force of nature. He's able to, um, he has like an unstoppable force. I would almost, I liken him to, um, I've explored this in my own personal time, the Golem, which is a character, not a character, but it's part of Jewish folklore. um, Somebody like kind of like a construct of a Jewish man done through mysticism. And this is like something we see in like horror movies, like some of these supernatural characters that have these like it's like they're immortal and they're beyond destruction, and they're very simple beings that through the evilness of the world they kind of became otherworldly. So Anton Chigurh, why is he able to overcome all of these people? Because he's not captivated by materialism, and all of the characters are. They're um, they're caught in a play, a morality play, whether it's the cartel who are interlinked to some sort of mafia hierarchy or corporate hierarchy. It's all basically the same thing. It's underworld money transactions, and he's just a mercenary that has kind of went off his rocker, probably because he obviously doesn't have a work-life balance. So there's a scene with the sheriff, where he's kind of the Tommy Lee Jones character. His name escapes me. Where he's just having this. They're talking about they can't comprehend this level of evil, and a lot of people now in modern America can't comprehend this level of evil. Well, that's pretty simple because we keep applying a modern take on where we're at with the world. The world has been going around the same way for a very long time. So the cracks in the armor are nothing new. Like a lot of people, they have this fascination with like things that are happening in Hollywood or like the music industry, and even that's just like a construct in itself. So this guy, he's not supernatural, but he appears to just have control, complete control of the environment. And he uses technology, a transmitter, a money tracker, and he's almost what we call a playing god. But then the thing, it's a secular work, so it was like, God is controlling the situation, and that's the thing about like why are certain movies getting made, because it's something floating in the you call it the collective unconscious, but it's really the collective conscious is what people are thinking. And I think a lot of people for the last 20 years, we're seeing a lot of brutality, a lot of active shooters and stuff like that, because this watered down society of men not really being men and not responding to real challenges. So people are saying, well, why is this able to exist if we have this very sanitized world? Because if it's a sanitized world, the evil is just gonna, it's not gonna be sanitized, it's gonna be more hidden to be prevalent, or not prevalent, in the kind of substratosphere of the world. So you say, like, well, why do cults exist, or strange groupings of individuals? Because, or it's hidden, like, it's there. Um, so the other thing is, like, okay, the Tommy Lee Jones character, the sheriff that can't handle the brutality of Anton Chigurh, he he just he can't summon it up in himself to be a real man. So evil exists because people aren't aren't ready. they're not they're not ready for the undertaking. And then they're flabbergasted when I mean, we've all had our experiences dealing with, crazy people, crazy women, evil bosses, criminals, and stuff like that. We've all been exposed to it. Yeah, it just has to operate on more of a hidden frequency and a hidden level. Um, so you need to, like, step up and actually challenge it, as opposed to, well, how do we deal with this? This is like, this represents, and this is another reason this movie is so prevalent, is perfect mirror for society. Oh my God, what do we do? Let's think about it. Like, think about this guy. He doesn't care about anything, so he's just gonna keep doing what he's doing until real men come in and deal with the situation. So that's why it's entertaining. What do we do? You have the ability to do and become whatever you want to be. So if you want to be a lawman and you want to hunker down, so this guy Anton Chigurh, he lives his life to be better at what he does. You could do that. If you want to be a musician, or you want to be a business person or something like that, you want to be the top of it, apply your trade at the highest level, you need to work for it. So if you're a lawman and you're looking up at the sky for answers, God's going to say this guy's clueless. He doesn't want the answers. So what does it matter? So that's why it's kind of goofy, He walks away. He's fucked up in his arm. Obviously, a criminal doesn't have much of a career criminal without any sort of business. It's not going to have much of a walking away plan. So it's silly, but it's very relevant today, because it just exists. When people, they don't have the foundation, and they're not prepared for it. So that is a film analysis. Good night.